So our corporate values should be an extension of our personal values, and they need to represent who we are personally and as a company. This helps others know how to work with us, and it also helps guide the decisions we need to make in the organization every day. We've identified 6 values that I think really represent the core of who we are as an organization. The first value I want to talk about is do the right thing. I think this is one of the most important values that we have. And it's listed as do the right thing, not do the easy thing, do the expedient thing, or even do the most profitable thing, but do the right thing. So if we want to build relationships with our customers, our partners, even our employees, they have to trust us. And to trust us, they need to be confident that, we don't have motives for what we do, that our goals and our objectives and our motives are aligned with their needs and their objectives. And that really means doing the right thing by the folks that you're working with or talking to. So if we want a long-term relationship with anybody, we need to do the right thing. The next value I want to talk about is being flexible but disciplined. So we often tell people that we're large enough to be relevant, but small enough to be flexible. And flexibility is important. This is something that differentiates us from a lot of competitors and really helps make a difference with the customers and partners that we work with. We have a lot of different customers in doing a lot of different things. And so they all want to do it differently, but we have to be successful at the end of the day. So how we do that is by taking their approaches and being flexible and adopting our approaches and coming up with something that's got the best chance of success for the project that we're working on. So this requires obviously flexibility, but at the end of the day, we have to get a job done too. So we have to be disciplined in how we do it. It means we have to meet deadlines, we have to meet schedules, and we have to get the things done we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do them. But that doesn't mean that we need to be rigid in how we do it. And so to me, these things go hand in hand. You have to be flexible to be successful, but you also have to be disciplined to get the job done. The next value I want to talk about is exceptional but humble. So I think we have a really talented and exceptional team. But, there are a lot of people out there that are exceptional and talented, and you need to differentiate. And to me, I don't know about you, but there are a lot of smart people out there that I would choose not to work with. At the end of the day, you need to work as a team with people. And nobody wants to, have someone around that is always advertising that they're the smartest person in the room. And I don't think you need to do that. If you're good, people know you're good. To be advertising it to everybody every minute of the day doesn't build teamwork. It really just builds resentment. And that's really not a good way to get things done or a good way to build relationships. So to me, it's important to have exceptional people so that we can do a really good job for the folks that we've got. But we need to be humble about it. We need to be good, and we need to demonstrate that we're exceptional, not tell people we're exceptional. Helping others is the next value I wanted to talk about. And this is a little bit different than some of the others because this isn't something that I think you strive for or that you work to do. It's really about who you are. And we're a technical organization, and we have a bunch of people who choose to work with technical people. And so really, this is a trait that I think represents why we do what we do, is that we like to help others. So we like to be involved in tackling problems or working as a team to get things done and to make a difference. And so, helping others, I just think is part of the core of who we all are personally. And again, that carries over to us organizationally. The next value I wanted to talk about is taking a long view. And to me, this is closely related to do the right thing. And the reason being, we talked about not doing necessarily the expedient thing, and that is very similar to taking a long view. So we make commitments to our partners, our customers, our employees, and to meet those commitments, we have to maintain a relationship. To maintain a relationship with people, you have to have them trust you, want to work with you. And so when we make a decision on anything, we need to look not just how it's going to impact things today, tomorrow, next month, but 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. So an example might be that we're working with the customer on a project, and there's a simple, very inexpensive way to do something. But if doing it that way doesn't meet their longer term goals, then they're going to be unhappy and they're not going to want to continue to work with us. So we need to look at the impact of the decisions we make and figure out how to maintain the relationships we want to maintain while providing the advice or doing the things that we need to, looking at a long-term view on things. Another example would even be with employees. So a lot of companies will staff up when they have demand, and then they'll immediately cut staff when they don't. And to be successful, we have to work as a team. And I don't think you can function well as a team if people don't trust that you're looking out for their interests and they're going to be around. So if we were to staff up for an area of our organization and that area were to dip, we would maintain those people and take the long-term view that the teamwork and the benefit of having someone knowledgeable and who knows us and knows our customers better than the short-term profit we could get by letting someone go and hiring someone else later. And so to me, we always need to be aware of what the long-term implications of the decisions we make are, because that's going to impact how we're able to serve everybody that we work with. The last value I want to talk about is being self-motivated and self-aware. So we work at a lot of customer sites, or virtually a lot of the time. And so we need to be always self-motivated to make sure that we get the job done that we need to do for our customers to meet the deadlines and the deliverables that we've talked about already. But being self-motivated isn't always enough. You also need to have an understanding of where your weaknesses are, or what might need work, or where something isn't going well. In any relationship, things don't go perfectly all the time. And if you're always looking to somewhere else for the problem, instead of looking into yourself on what you can do to help solve that problem, then you're not going to come out with the results that you need to, with the frequency that you need to do that. So to me, not only do we have to be self-motivated to make sure we get the job done, but we have to be self-aware so that people trust our opinions and recognize that when we're offering advice, that we've looked at both ourselves and the processes, or whatever the case might be, to make sure that we're offering the best advice that we can. In summary, these values represent who I think we are, but also who we need to continue to be. If we want to be successful with our customers, we want to be here for our employees, then we need to exhibit these traits. And, we need to represent these traits in everything we do, whether it's a customer interaction, or hiring of an employee, or dealing with a situation that an employee might have. Maybe it's a family matter, or a problem at a customer that's unforeseen, that's outside of anybody's control. We need to bring all of these values to bear so that we can really be the best people we can be, and that helps us really be the best company that we can be.